Hello everyone, I am Erika of the storytellingjeweler.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly Friday evening beady broadcast that I started back in March when we all went into lockdown to make sure that no one has to bead alone, even if there are no workshops happening this year in real life or very few of them. And I see already friendly faces popping up. Petra and Linda and Teresa and Kata and Liv and Zuzi already here. Sue, welcome ladies. I'm really happy to see you. Corinne. And Zuzi says she can hear me, she can see me. So I'm very happy that the technical stuff is working out well. Kiki is here with us too. I'm happy that you don't have a shift today and you can spend time with us. Hello everyone. So how was your week, ladies? I hope that you are doing well. Anita, Renate, Vania is here also, Monica, Asaria. What a precious day. Donna. Zuzi is cooking dinner, not beading, but hanging out with us. What are you cooking, Zuzi? Cheryl. Vica is here, Reinhilde is here, Janine, Cassandra, Maria, Sheila, Sherry. Oh my God, already so many of you ladies and from different countries all around the world. But and Annalene, the important thing is that what is connecting us all, well, the love of beads. And hopefully, or like, as I have noticed it during the past months, since we spent so much time together online, I noticed that there are actually three things that connect us. Love of beads, love of the color turquoise, and the love of coffee. I don't say that it's true for everyone, but I hear that a lot. And Frida is here. And Lisa. I also see a lot of new faces and new names. I'm so happy to see you here. Teresa, thank you. You're so sweet. Virginia just got up. Zuzi is cooking already dinner, and Virginia just got up and having coffee and beads. Well, I'm also here in Europe in the same time zone as Zuzi. She's in Slovakia. I'm in the Netherlands. And it's more like evening here, but still I am having a coffee. And I think that lately, during the past weeks, my coffee addiction got worse. You won't believe it. It was a bit better lately. And then I started to drink, instead of single espressos, I am drinking now double espressos, even in the evenings. So I'm at number 8, 9, I shall not count. Vanya says, I have my coffee beads and you. And Mary Ellen is with us, and Anne and Lynn is here, and Katja is here, and 𝐊𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿. Ladies, wonderful to see you. First of all, I would like to thank you for your generosity last week, for donating for Linda's fundraiser. It really means a lot to me, and it literally means it's literally the matter of health and life for her, and I am amazed by your generosity. Thank you so much. And today we are going to bead the Enigma earrings. Cheryl was joking today when I posted the picture in the club, in the storytelling beading club, that the Enigma is that the riddle is that how do I come up with all the designs week by week. And I have to say, sometimes it is an enigma for me too. It is a riddle for me. But I think when you are doing something really a lot, then your brain just gets used to it, and it's coming up with new and new ideas and doing it better and better all the time. Like many of you know my ex-flatmate cat. Well, 3 years ago, we sometimes have flatmates, like every 2-3 years someone is staying here for a couple of months when we are helping out a friend or when we need the extra rent. And so a couple of years ago, a good friend, Titus, Adam's colleague, was living with us for a couple of months. And in his previous career, he learned to be like an artisan shoemaker. When you do shoes, when you make shoes from like the first stitch, like cutting the leather by hand until the very last screw or whatever goes into a shoe. I don't think there are screws in a shoe, more like stitches probably, right? But we used to have very nice discussions about like crafting and how to come up with new ideas. And he gave me the advice back then, like, even if you think like you are technically okay, just push it and work as much with your hands as you can until every stitch and every movement and all the thoughts, they get somehow like automatized, and then they will kind of take over, and it really improves how you design. And I think he is completely all right. One thing is, yeah, there has to be some kind of sparkle, some inspiration coming from the beads or coming from something else. In my case, sometimes I get inspired by a book, I get inspired by a piece of art, I get inspired by a feeling, but the technique, the craft has to be there. And it gets easier and easier as you do it more and more. So maybe that's the solution for the riddle. And Vanya is asking, how can you sleep? Sometimes I can't, but I'm just used to it. I remember the happy times that even one single espresso shooted my effectivity to the sky, and I was really like, wow, going. But now I don't really even feel the effect of it. And I love coffee. Kata also had 6 to 8 today, so I am not the only one. Sister, not only in beading, but also in drinking coffee. And Ula is here, and Joanna is here, and Carol, and Sherry, and Nancy from Canada, and Brit Marie. Hello, ladies. And Sarah. Sarah, are you okay? So, today we are going to bead the Enigma earrings, or you can have like a cute little pendant from it. And of course, you can bead also a bracelet. It's actually pretty easy and nice to make a bracelet from these motifs, because as you see, I try to keep it steady so you see it better. It's not focusing. Okay, now. So as you see, there is a little square from beads, from DELICA beads and seed beads on the top and at the bottom of the motif. And if you turn it by 90 degrees, then you can connect the motifs to each other thanks to these little squares on the sides. I think that would be a really cute, nice little bracelet. And Sarah says she's not beading, but listening. I'm glad that you are here. And all the best, Sarah. Speedy recovery. And now the camera is not focusing on my face. Okay, it will get back soon, I hope. Oh, and Teresa says, the darker the roast, the less caffeine there is. That's very interesting to know, but you know what? I really like the light roasted ones. I really can't drink the, the Italian kind of coffees, the very dark ones. Those I don't like. I like the African ones, Ethiopian or from Kenya, and like very lightly roasted. And Virginia says, I love keeping my mind active, so doing this is great. Being retired could make one very lazy during these times, so thank you for that. Virginia, first of all, thank you for being here. And I would never use your name and the adjective lazy in one sentence. In October, when we were doing, I'm trying to move around so the camera will maybe focus on me finally. It's back, great. So in October, when we were doing all the Seed Beads projects, the Seed Beads and More projects about Raw and Crow and Pro, you were beading like everything. And you had all those beautiful pictures with the printed tutorials. And on top of it, your jewel, you were working so hard. And that was really a pleasure to see. Thank you so much. And Carla is here. And Sheila shares the same taste for coffee. She says, no dark roast for me. Just finished 3 shots espresso in my latte. Oh my God. I see a connection. I feel a connection, Sheila. It's nice to have you here. And Teresa says, so your espresso is using medium or light roast coffee? That's not new for me. Good to know. Yes, I like the light roast coffee, and often actually the guys in my local coffee shop where I go, if there are any Amsterdammers, Lot 61 is my place to go. So the guys often tell me, like, do you take that for espresso? It's more for filter, but it's my thing. I like it. And Cheryl says, the stronger the coffee, the better. Exactly. That's also like more beading gets done when the stronger the coffee, right? It's good for your beading. So let's get started, ladies. Let's do a quick material check to make sure that you have everything and that I also have everything for the second earring. I am going to use the same colors as in this first version, as I really want to have a full pair of earring, and many friends of mine will laugh at this because they know that sometimes when I don't have enough time, weekly broadcasts have that effect, then I end up having one earring or half a bracelet. Beading life. And Jojo is here. And last week I forgot to get out TILA beads, but I remembered that, and today I have the half TILAs. So let's do a quick material check. We will need 3mm round check pearls. Those are the nice matte purple ones in the middle. Then we will need MIYUKI DELICA 11s. I used 2 colors. You can use 1 color or you can use 2 colors. That's up to you. I really like the effect created by those, like, what's the name of that color actually? English not being my first language, sometimes I need a little bit of help, and I'm really happy that I can always count on you. So what would you say? What is the color of the DELICA beads that are around the check pearls in the middle? So I really like the effect created by those, as that's like a little square standing on one of its corner. So I think it makes it really like, it gives some energy for the design. But it's up to you if you would like to use one color of the DELICA beads or 2 colors of the DELICA beads. Then you will also need number 15 and number 11 round seed beads. I always use MIYUKI, by the way. In the simpler designs, you could probably use Toho too, but I'm just mentioning it that that I am not testing my designs for Toho beads, so there might be a little difference. And Vania says rose, Virginia says opaque old rose, Cheryl says salmon. I think that's okay. I don't think that is salmon. I think that's because of the screen only, or my picture. Yeah, aubergine. That's like light aubergine, maybe. Yeah, maroon. Okay, that's a challenge for us ladies, to find the correct name of the color. It's, by the way, DELICA number 2295, and together with many other beautiful matted and Picasso finishes, it's coming soon to the e-shop, to the storytellingjuveler.com. Also around round shapes and delicas, and also some slender buggles. Oh, Lynn says cranberry, Katalin says lilac, Cassandra says magenta. Okay, oh, yeah, cranberry would also, but also lilac. I don't know, but yeah, that's the shade. So then, besides that, you will also need half TILA beads, and this matted turquoise. It really became one of my favorites lately. I use it a lot, and I think it looks really great with the maroon or aubergine or whatever it is, or lavender, as Sarah says. And we also need some 3mm or plum. Yeah, Sherry looked up the name, I think, frosted glazed opaque plum. Yeah, plum sounds good for it. I love plum, by the way. Then we also need 3mm bicone beads, and if you want, you can hang a drop at the bottom of the pendant. That's up to you. You can hang there a smaller one, a bigger one, whatever. You can hang there a gemstone drop, you can hang there a glass drop or Swarovski, whatever you like, or just leave it without. And if you are making earrings, then of course you will need an earring hook. You can also make it into bigger. You can attach a bezel, the peyote bezeled rivoli on top of it to make it bigger. You can also, if you are making a bracelet and you don't want to make that many motifs, then you can alternate between this motif and between peyote bezeled rivolis. The printable file is always available at the same page. I'm just always adding the new files at the top of the page, so you can locate it at the story. And thank you for reminding me, Petra, by the way. So you can find it at thestorytellingjuveler.com/no-one-has-to-bead-along/ And as always, you have 2 choices. First of all, you can download it for free. If the current crisis in the world caught you in a bad situation, then please accept it as my helping hand, and you can have the printable as a gift from me. And if you are in the situation that you can help keep running the broadcasts, then you have the option to download it for €5. And thank you so much for everyone who does that, and big, big, big hugs for every share and every like, and every time you tell your friend about this and invite her to participate, or like if you use the no one has to be alone hashtag, that helps us a lot by spreading the word about this and keeping it running. So thank you so much, ladies. And let's get started. So let's see my second camera. Today I was a bit nervous because still like 5 minutes before the broadcast, Adam was still using the second camera talking to his boss, and that's not the moment when you just want to snatch it. But he was so nice and just switched to his phone so I can have my second camera for the bead mat. So let's get started. I am using my usual number 4LB FIRELINE, or 0.12 millimeter for European folks. And I am using a little bit crooked tulip beading needle. And let's start easy. I always leave a tail of about 10 to 12 centimeters. That's about 5 to 6 inches. And I start now with picking up 4 pieces of the 3 millimeter round pearls. And then I bead one more time through the first one. And thanks to this, I created a little square or circle, whatever. Probably a square because it has 4 beads, 4 sides. And then we will be adding the first color of DELICA beads between the check round pearls. So I am picking them up one by one. I am exiting a check pearl, then I pick up a DELICA bead and I bead through the next check pearl. And hello, Amy. So nice to see you, and thank you for stopping by. I hope you are doing okay and not overworking yourself. And Susie, we were wondering what are you cooking today while you are not beading. So, and when I added the last piece of the last DELICA bead, then I continue until I reach the second new bead that I added in this step. I don't want to start adding beads right away, but I will bead to the second one before I do so. And Amy is laughing out loud, and always but all is well. You know, like even with this, I feel such a connection with you that people keep telling us, I think, that, oh, take care, don't overwork yourself, whatever. But we keep doing it because we love what we do, right? And I think also both of us really enjoy what we are doing and find it meaningful. So then it's hard to stop. So now I am hiding the first picture and switching to the second and third one. So the third one, I am starting to use my beautiful plum, aubergine, lavender, salmon, magenta, whatever beads, and I am adding groups of 4 DELICA beads in my second color between the DELICA beads that I added in my first color. And for now, the beads, they form like little semicircles around the pearls. However, when we will be moving on to step 4, then they will get this more like a square shape. So don't worry about that. And Amy says, yes, I wouldn't have it any other way. So I am adding my last group of 4 DELICA beads in the second color. And it looks like a little clover at the moment. And Susie says, I hope to express it correctly. Steamed veggies with chicken bits and rice. Very fresh for kids, and with soya peanut butter sauce on top for me and hubby. That sounds really nice. I love peanut butter sauce. Oh, not peanut butter sauce. Oh, you are eating peanut butter sauce. Okay. Yeah, there is like a peanut sauce here in Amsterdam that I discovered here in Amsterdam, used in Indonesian cuisine, and I simply love it. Sometimes we mix it indeed with soy sauce. And enjoy your dinner very much, Susie. And in the next step, I am adding, sorry, I'm moving my light. I don't care if it's here in my face, but I want to add more light to my beading mat. So in the next step, I bead through the first 2 beads of the first group that I added. Then I pick up a number 15 seed bead and I bead through the second 2 beads, like the third and fourth DELICA bead in the first group. And then I pick up a DELICA bead in the first color, I bead through 2 DELICA beads in the second color, and then I add a number 15 seed bead again. So always I add a DELICA bead in the first color on top of the DELICA beads added in step number 2, and I always add a number 15 round seed bead between the second and third DELICA bead in a group of 4. And that's how I go all around. And Joanna says, Susie, that sounds delicious. Oh, and Vanya's question is probably for me. I realized because Susie mentioned chicken, so she can't be vegetarian. I am a vegetarian. I try to reduce the amount of dairy products and milk I consume because I just don't like the way cows are treated. But I'm not vegan. Like, come on, I live in the Netherlands. Have you ever tasted Dutch cheese? You can't be it's impossible to become vegan in the Netherlands, I think. So, and after adding the last new bead, I continue until I reach the first number 15 seed bead that I added in this step. And how funny! Susie learned this when she was in Enschede in the Netherlands, visiting a friend whose grandparents came from Indonesia. Indeed. And hello, Leanne. Now I'm hiding step 3. How are you doing, ladies? We are talking about yummy things, but how is your beading? Keep me updated about that. And now that I am exiting a number 15 seed bead, I will be adding half TILA beads in between the number 15s and the DELICA beads in the second color. And here you need to be a bit careful with the thread tension. You don't want to leave it floppy. However, you also don't want to like pull it so much that the half TILA would slide over or on top or at the bottom of the pair of the DELICA beads. So you always want to arrange it in a way that it sits exactly next to the pair of DELICA beads and not on top of them, like this. So I'm beading all around like this, picking up a half TILA, and then now I bead it through a number 15 seed bead. Then I pick up a half TILA and I bead through the DELICA bead. The half TILA beads, they have little bumps, so if you are a perfectionist beader, then you want to make sure that the little bumps are facing the top of your pendant. And here I would also recommend to always like check your thread tension by putting down the motif and tapping it a little bit to make sure that it's not too tight and not too floppy. Oh, and Sherry was just asking exactly what I was explaining, that which is the right side. Well, I think this is also like very personal. 9 out of 10 beaders will say like put the bumpy side on the top, but actually I think if you like the flat side, then put the flat side on top of it. I like to put the bumps on the top, but it's completely up to you. And Susie says, motif too small to sit on. Yeah, for new beaders, sometimes we joke like when you can't get your motif flat by tapping on it, then just sit on it. And if it's still not flat, then eat more chocolate. And Joanna is getting hungry because of us. And Sherry says, I can't always see which side has the bump. Sherry, if you don't see it, well, don't care about it. When I started to use half TILAs, but when they started to make half TILAs, then I didn't actually notice that they have two sides. And there are colors which have it more visible than others. And Teresa says, look at the TILA beads from the side. And indeed, then you see it better. And I just want to mention that I so love this sharing atmosphere, what we have here during the broadcasts, and especially in the Storytelling Beading Club, that whoever tend to have a question, then there is already an answer. And we share ideas and share knowledge. And that's wonderful. So I am adding now my last half TILA bead, and I finished by beading through a number 15 seed bead. And Sarah says, my life was so much easier when I didn't know there was two sides of the TILAs. I completely understand you, Sarah. And Vanya says, I arrange mine before I start needling. It helps a lot. That's also a wonderful idea. Thank you so much for sharing, Vanya. And now my motif, it looks like a little insect, or well, a little spider with 8 legs, I would say. I let it rest a little bit. And Serial says, I'm so glad to know, but curse the day I was told about the bombs. Oh, and Edith is here. Sia, Edith, so nice to see you. Edith is one of my old reading friends from Hungary. That was before the Slovakian times, actually. And you know, Edith, today I was chatting with Vica, with Eva Dobos, and we were looking up some old pictures from the times when we used to go to retreats, when retreats were still not a thing. It was like 15 years ago. And I actually found and all the like the bead shop birthdays in Hungary, and I actually found some pictures of you too. And Sia Georgi. And where is step 6? Okay, this is the fun part when we are adding a little bit of bling with some bicon beads. And Cheryl is asking, so is Sia Hungarian for hello? Yes, indeed, it's like hi, and we say it also when we greet each other, and we can say it also when we say goodbye, and it's an informal way of saying hi. So you would not say it to like the headmaster of the school, for example. Kata likes your language skills. So let's continue with our little spider shaped, or yeah, somehow the 𝐓𝐻𝐿𝐴s remind me of legs of spiders or beetles or insects or whatever. Maybe because I am reading Harry Potter on the recommendation of some club members. Oh, and Teresa said, Erika, did you just say Dobos? I love Dobos cake chocolate. I said Eva Dobos. Dobos is the surname, the family name of my good friend Eva. Vita, you are here, right? But Dobos is also the surname of the famous baker who invented the Dobos cake. Oh wow, you're good. Indeed. The Dobos cake. It has a version when it doesn't have chocolate, but like the real Dobos cake, it has caramel on top of it. But not so many bakers make it because it's harder to make it nice. And in like simpler places, you get it with chocolate on top of it. And in better places, you get it with caramel. And that's amazing. I haven't had a good one for 10 years, maybe. And it is Kata's favorite. Kata, can you eat Dobos torta in Sweden? Do you have a place to get it? So, and in the meanwhile, while exiting a number 15 seed bead and waiting for Kata's answer, I pick up 3 pieces of MIYUKI DELICA beads in my first color. I bead through the open hole of a half TILA. Then I pick up a bicon bead, a 3mm bicon bead. I bead through the open hole of the next half TILA. And then I pick up 3 more of the delicas and I bead through the next number 15 seed bead. So this is how it looks like, and I'm kind of like following the edge of the motif. So always on the sides of the half TILA beads there will be 3 pieces of MIYUKI DELICA 11. And in between the open holes of the half TILAs, there will be a 3mm bicon bead. And that's how you need to go all around. And Anita says, it is a very nice pattern. I finished the first and start with the second one. That's so nice, Anita. I'm glad that you are already there and that you like it. Are you making earrings or a bracelet? Oh wow, and Teresa says, it's a big deal in Hawaii. You mean dobosh cake? If yes, then I'm amazed, absolutely. And Kata can do the top. Wow. And Virginia says, I would so like to visit the Czech Republic when times to travel are better. I believe the family homestead from my father's family is still there. Oh my God, Virginia, that would be so nice to go back and discover those places from the history of your family. And the Czech Republic is a beautiful, beautiful country. I used to live there for 2 years. Unfortunately, very, very short 2 years. It was one of my brilliant ideas to live in the Czech Republic and work in Slovakia and then sometimes drive back and forth like 400 kilometers in one day and then spend 2 days in Bratislava, 400 kilometers back, and then again and again. Don't do it. But go to the Czech Republic. It's wonderful. And you, as a beader, I would really recommend to look up, hopefully, one of our very good friends, Anna Lindell from Sweden. She was about to go on a beaders tour in the Czech Republic and take beaders to Prague and to the Crystal Valley. And unfortunately, it didn't happen because of COVID, but I really hope that it will happen when times are better. I would really recommend to join her. We actually had a broadcast like a couple of weeks before the tour was supposed to happen, when Anna was my guest and she was talking about the program and she was introducing the designs that she came up with for the Czech tour. But after the Czech tour, as Kata says, let's go to Hawaii and eat dobosh cake. And Anita says, first I make earrings and later a bracelet. And Joanna says, a gathering of the storytelling beading club. Joanna, we have, you can't imagine how many plans we have, how many ideas we had for you before this whole thing would have started. And I really, really hope that once it's over, we can start making them true, and we can finally meet also in real life. You know, my sister Yvette, who is responsible for the warehouse and shipping and keeping in touch with you guys, and she has actually a background in tourism. So she is the perfect person to organize something for us, for you, I think. And I really hope that we will make it happen one day. And Cheryl says, I'm exhausted just listening to that traveling. You know, I'm so not used to traveling anymore. It seems so normal that I barely leave my apartment these days. And before that, it was just always either Adam or me. We were on our way somewhere. Lots of trips abroad. But I, of course, miss it in a way. But also, I have a feeling that by sitting on my bum here in Amsterdam, I can focus more on, well, also on developing some deeper friendships. I live abroad and it's not always easy to find new friends, but the few friends that I still meet, I'm not meeting lots of people these days, but I have a feeling that since I am always here in Amsterdam, that those few friendships really got a lot deeper than before. And also I have a feeling that my what I do, the beading and everything, that I can actually focus on developing it and to developing it a lot more. So while I really hate the whole situation, and of course, like, I hope that it soon goes away, but it is also showing me ways that how life can be different than just being all the time on the road. Oh, and Deb says those seed beads are working fine. Thank you so much for letting us know, Deb. Oh, and Vanya is asking, Erika, can you give us more news about Swarovski and Preciosa? Well, there was finally a statement from Swarovski, and they will indeed like phase out lots and lots of shapes and colors. Like they do that all the time. As soon as you get fond of a color, then you can be pretty much sure that in a year or two they just stop making it, or they will not make it in your favorite shapes. But unfortunately, it is true that they are phasing down the do-it-yourself market, and they will be focusing on like the luxury little statue market and the luxurious jewelry market, finished jewelry market. But first I was of course surprised, but there is Preciosa. And as soon as the news started to spread about Swarovski, in a matter of days, I got an email as a business partner of Preciosa. I got an email from them, like assuring all partners that they will be here and they will be stepping up and they are fulfilling orders and they plan to expand the selection. So I really hope that they will fill the void created by Swarovski. And as for the quality, it's great. It's just Czech crystal, hundreds of years of tradition. That's actually where Daniel Swarovski, the original founder of the Swarovski company, learned the basics of the craft. It's coming from the Czech Republic. And yeah, the colors are great. The selection of shapes is not that big yet as it was with Swarovski, but I trust them that it will be okay. And yeah, we had a sale last week actually for Preciosa crystals, and some of our beaders already started to receive their Preciosa orders and leaving feedback on our website that how do they like the Preciosa crystals. So if you are curious about the quality, then I think the best thing what you can do, please go to the storytellingjeweler.com, look up the Preciosa crystals and read the reviews, please. I personally love them, but reading it from fellow beaders, I think that is what really matters. So I hope that answers your question. And we will expand. That was already my plan for the next year, to really expand our selection for Preciosa crystals. I love them in our cup chains, for example, but this recent news, they just assured me that this is the way to go. So just look out for them, and they will be coming very soon to our website. If they will be making the price as high, that's something I can't say. Like, that's up to Preciosa. Like, their cabochons, they are not cheap, but that's the same quality. Then it can't really be cheaper. So, but let's see. Let's see how does it develop. And Kata is also confident. She says they are confident about she's confident about the beads. And Teresa also likes Preciosa. And Teresa says, I like Preciosa way before Chinese crystals. You know, with Chinese crystals, that I would say, like, that's really something what we can't put into one hat. In China, there are like many companies manufacturing cabochons. And yes, I do have some Chinese crystals at the storytellingjeweler.com. For example, the Pacific Opal 27 millimeter, what is in the middle of this, or the Rose Opal. And it took me about a year until I found the manufacturers that I like. I invested money, time, and energy into ordering from many different companies until I was 100% happy. And only when I am 100% happy, it goes up to the eShop. And there is huge difference between one company and another, actually. And you know, I often have to remind people, have to remind beaders when I see their pictures on Facebook that and I know that the cabochons are coming from us, that, oh, and this is with Swarovski, and then I write them a message like, it's not Swarovski. Like, I'm not saying that it's Swarovski. It's just somehow people sometimes people even forget about it, that it's not Swarovski, because yeah, the quality can be high. It just depends that which manufacturer do you choose. Do you go for the cheap? Then the quality is not good, and the foil on the back will peel off. The color will not be nice. And then if the quality is better, of course, also the price will be better. But yeah, you have to find whom you trust with this. And yeah. And Cheryl says that 27 millimeter is just one of 4 set in my basket on the side. I love this color, Cheryl. If you like opal green, you will love it. And Ula already managed to bead a pair of earrings. And Zuzi says, I ordered Preciosa chatons last week, and they are great quality at reasonable price, I think. And Teresa says, yes, I have some Chinese ones also. If I can't find the color in Preciosa, then I would go to Chinese ones. It depends where you get your Chinese ones, you are right. So yeah, that's totally up to the source. And we test them well. And oh, let's get back to beading, right? All the talk about cabochons. So now I will be kind of retracing the thread path, but after beading through 2 DELICA beads here, I pick up a number 11 DELICA, and I skip the first DELICA here, and I bead up through the second and the third one. And Deb finished hers, and she's loving her color choices. What kind of colors do you use, Deb? And Lisa says, thank you for all that information about crystals. Gladly, I'm always really glad to share anything I might know. And yeah, I always go only for quality stuff. So the Chinese crystals, what we have besides Swarovski and besides Preciosa at the storytellingjeweler.com, then you can be sure that it's not the cheap style, what is like chipped already when you receive it. Or I sometimes see that they are delivered Chinese crystals in like a big bag of 27 millimeter stones in one bag. I don't buy that. So, oh, sorry. And Cheryl is asking, sorry for step 7, is it DELICA or round, please? It's round. It's round. If you look at the top left corner of the illustration, then I always try to put there the same abbreviation what I use also in my instructions. So R11 in step 7, that means that it's around MIYUKI 11. And Teresa says, just like anything else, you get what you pay for. Exactly. That is so simple. So I added my last round 11, and now I will need to make this little square that I mentioned to you, that it can be the connection between two motifs. So I bead until I reach the next round 11, and then I pick up 4 pieces of DELICA beads and 3 pieces of round 15s interchangeably, starting and finishing with a DELICA 11. And then I bead one more time through the round 11, and I repeat the thread path, but I am going to skip the round 15s between the DELICA beads. And that way I am pulling together the DELICA beads, and that's how I shape this little square. That the round 15s, they will be at the corners, and the DELICA beads, they are the sides of the square. And Dev says she's using purple and turquoise, DELICA pink and lime green seed beads, yellow pearls, and green metallic TILAs. I will definitely bead more and no drops, so I added butterflies for the drops. That sounds wonderful, Deb. And and grayish AB 3mm bicon beads. Sounds great. So ladies, this is the part what I wanted to show you today, because then it's up to you that if you want to add a drop as I did, or if you want to skip adding a drop. And also you will need to bead a little square like this on top of the motif too, and then just by adding a couple of number 15s and forming a loop, you create this part that will be holding the earring hook. So ladies, please let me know, how are you doing with the motif, if it went well, if you have any more questions. Do you need to sit on it or is it flat? How is it going, ladies? In the meanwhile, while I'm waiting for your answers, I would like to mention that recently Susie wrote for us a new article for the blog, some inspiration, and I like saying that beading brings people together. We are together now here. That's a perfect example. But also, you can keep your loved ones, thanks to beading, very close to your heart. So, what Susie did, that she beaded little figures symbolizing her two children, her two cute little children, and they will become a necklace. And you can do the same. You can bead your children. Susie had also the idea that if you want, you can use, for example, the colors of the birthstones of your children. You can bead yourself and gift it to your children. You can do the same for your best friend. You can do it for your parents. You can do it for your sister or brother, whatever. I think this is a great way of beading, like connections between us. So check out the blog and find there Susie's beautiful new article. Thank you so much, Susie, for the inspiration. You know, that's also a perfect example how we keep inspiring each other, because you may recognize the shape and the components that originally this was the Jaipur earrings that I designed. And while Susie was beading the Jaipur earrings, she started to play with the cabochons and she ended up with little figures. So inspiration works in mysterious ways. And one more thing, that recently I added the possibility to buy gift cards at the shop. So with the upcoming holidays, if your family is puzzled what to buy for you, and I don't mean, that's of course like natural that they should buy beads for you, but they don't know what kind of beads you want, then easy, you can now send them to the storytellingjeweler.com and they can get a gift certificate for you. You can spend it on anything you want, on beads, on workshops, on tutorials, whatever your heart's choice is. And we have all kinds of different values, from 10 euros to like 500 euros. So whatever they want to give to you, there is a choice for it. And thank you so much, ladies, for spending time with me today. This means so much to me, that you turn up week by week and you are keeping me company, you are keeping each other company, and together we create No One Has to Bead Alone. Thank you so much, ladies. Take good care of yourself, take good care of your loved ones, and see you very soon in the Storytelling Beading Club. I am looking forward to see your beautiful pieces. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.